Hello and welcome to my channel, Exceedingly Good Reviews. This is a My Thoughts on video. My thoughts on Monday Night Raw. The show opened with the Fiend's lighting flickering. Alexa Bliss is seen in the ring, whispering, saying, "Let him in." This brings out the Fiend. The Fiend is here on Raw, and what an entrance the Fiend has. His red strobe lighting kind of fits in with the Raw theme, Raw being the red brand and whatnot. Alexa Bliss and the Fiend hold hands in the ring. Isn't that lovely? Yeah, so that's a nice little moment. They're surrounded by Retribution. Retribution comes out. Sounds like they've got new entrance music. They come out. They surround the ring. They get in the ring. The lights go out. The Fiend is gone. The Hurt Business come out. The Hurt Business and Retribution get into a brawl. This sets up an 8-man tag match. Okay. I just want to say as well, Raw, new theme music to open the show. Like it a lot. Like Retribution's new music. This is good. Premiere episode. Premiering new things. New beginnings. So this is good. Good start for Raw. So yeah, like I said, 8-man tag match. The Hurt Business. Cedric Alexander, MVP, Bobby Lashley, and Shelton Benjamin taking on Retribution. Mustafa Ali, T-Bar, Mace, and Slapjack. Don't know where Mia Yim, whatever her character, it's Retaliation, whatever. I don't know where she disappeared to. Yeah, this match, it could have got good. Everyone's getting a little bit of offense in. It could have got good. It was just okay. Ends up Bobby Lashley locking in the Hurt Lock on T-Bar and T-Bar tapping for the Hurt Business to win. That was kind of a wet flannel kind of ending to this match. It's Retribution, you're meant to be the big, scary guys on the block, and you've now lost a match against the Hurt Business. Shame, shame, shame. The Fiend, the lights go out, the Fiend appears on the ring apron, and he decides after the match he takes out Retribution. He goes to take out Mustafa Ali. T-Bar sacrifices himself and gets his sister Abigail on him, and the Fiend kind of stirs at the Hurt Business, who were on the entrance ramp at this point. So yeah, why did the Fiend have to do this? Why did Retribution have to pick a fight with the Fiend? Who knows? New beginnings and all that. Premiere episode. AJ Styles comes down to the ring and he's with this massive guy. The Raw Underground bouncer, since Raw Underground is dead and buried right now at the moment, all those people need something to do, and the bouncer is now AJ Styles' own personal bodyguard by the looks of it, and he's an intimidating fellow. AJ Styles doesn't even reach his shoulder. AJ Styles looks like a child next to this guy. So anyway, AJ Styles runs his mouth. This brings out Matt Riddle. Matt Riddle against AJ Styles is our second match of the night, and AJ Styles wins. The distraction occurs. The wrestlers on the outside. Matt Riddle gets distracted, like I said, by this humongous bouncer. When he gets back into the ring, AJ's got the advantage. Ends up hitting the Styles Clash and pinning him to win. That's unfortunate for you, Matt Riddle. New beginning on Raw for you, and it begins with a loss. But AJ Styles wins. This is good to see. Before the match begins, it was quite funny because this bouncer fella does not want to get out of the ring. The ref pleading with him, "Please let me do my job. Let me do my job. You need to get out of the ring." He's got to give him a 5 count or he'll disqualify AJ Styles. And this bouncer fella just grabs his hand and, "You're not counting, mate." Intimidating fellow indeed. Third match of the night. Lana getting her shot at the Raw Women's title that she earned last week against Asuka, the Raw Women's Champion. This was a poor match. It was a very short match. Lana did get some offense in, which was surprising to me, but yeah, the match never really got going. Very poor match, unfortunately. Asuka ended up winning, as to be expected. It would have been a nice surprise to see Lana win, although people would argue that Lana probably doesn't deserve the title. But it would have been an interesting development if she had won. What a shocker that would have been. But you know, Asuka ends up making Lana tap in the Asuka lock. Who comes out immediately? Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler attack these two ladies, putting Lana through the announce table again. The 5th time I think they announce it. The 5th time she's gone through the announce table now. Shayna Baszler attempts to attack Asuka in the ring. Asuka ends up getting the upper hand and escaping. And we go to an advert break. When we come back, Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler are still in the ring, proclaiming themselves as they've got great teamwork. They don't like all this talk that they don't have cohesiveness and whatnot. This brings out, though, tag teams. We get the Asian Open Challenge, and this brings out Dana Brooks and Mandy Rose, followed by Lacey Evans, and this was a shock. It was like, why is Lacey Evans out? She's a single star. Then comes out Peyton Royce. These two women have been fudged together as a tag team. Why break up Billie Kay and Peyton Royce, the Iconics, if you're only then going to put Peyton Royce into another tag team with another individual, Lacey Evans? Make her single star, make Peyton Royce go for the women's title. Yeah, I didn't like this. And then another team comes out, the Riot Squad from SmackDown. They come out. We get an impromptu fatal four-way match between these four teams. Everyone gets a bit of offense in here and there. It's quite an entertaining match, quite an exciting match. A lot better than the previous match, but the previous match didn't set the bar very high, did it? But yeah, quite an entertaining match. It looks like the Riot Squad might win this one at one point. That's what I thought. Riot Squad, and then that might set up for a women's title match, maybe at Hell in a Cell, women's tag team title match. However, it was not to be. The brawl, lots of action. Everyone gets offensive. Nia Jax hits a Samoan drop on Lacey and pins her to win. So Lacey Evans takes the loss in this match. The women's tag team champions pick up the victory. Good for them. But yeah, it was what it was. It was, like I said, it was compared to the previous match, this was a brilliant match. However, in the grand scheme of things, it was just a good match, an okay match for the ladies. We then get our live concert. It's a live concert from Elias. Elias performing some tracks from his new album called, what was his album called? Universal Truth. What an album this might be, because the two songs that he played, especially the first song, Amen, that was a good song. I actually enjoyed it. This might be well worth a download, a purchase, his new album. Who knows? Anyway, he performs these two songs. He's going to go off. He then decides, well, okay, I'll do an encore. He says the line, "Good night, I love none of you," which made me chuckle. Yeah, so he's going to do an encore. He asked for his guitar. This individual's playing his guitar, played it really well, it seems. And that individual ends up being Jeff Hardy. Jeff Hardy takes a swing at Elias with this electric guitar, misses. Backstage, Elias decides he wants a match against Jeff Hardy and put all this to bed. So, okay, they're getting a match at Hell in a Cell, it seems. Miz and Morrison are seen backstage discussing their move to Raw. And who comes in? Tucker. Tucker saying that he's still going to defend his friend Otis, even though they're on separate brands and whatnot. This sets up a tag match. Tucker now has to find a tag team partner for later on in the night. Fifth match of the night is the New Day. The New Day come out. Kofi Kingston of the New Day is taking on Sheamus. Sheamus is fed up of all the crying and everything that they were doing, because the New Day is now split up and everything and whatnot. But yeah, you're the one doing the crying now, Sheamus, because Kofi Kingston beats you in this match. This was a good match. This was my belter of the night. The bar wasn't set very high by everything else on the show, but this was my belter of the night. This was a very good show, a very good match, sorry. Very entertaining, lots of near falls. A few unfortunate slips. It looks like everyone was getting quite sweaty, oiled up, the ropes and whatnot. So there was a few unfortunate little slips, but it didn't really take much from the match. The match itself was a belter of a match. It was a good match. And like I said, Trouble in Paradise, and Kofi Kingston picks up the win. Sheamus is the one left crying. You don't actually physically see him crying, but yeah, you know what I mean. So yeah, Kofi Kingston with the win here. Mustafa Ali is revealed to be the hacker. He confesses he was the hacker on SmackDown. Okay, don't really care. Don't really care about Retribution now. You've just lost your match early on in the night. You have no credibility now. Don't care. Shut your mouth. Sixth match of the night, it's Miz and Morrison. They come out. And Tucker comes out. Who's his tag team partner? His tag team partner is El Gran Gordo. Gordo or Gogo, I can't remember. I think it was Gordo. El Gran Gordo. It's Otis in a pink cape and a pink mask. We all know it. Miz and Morrison all know it, but they still play on the fact that no, this isn't Otis. Quite a fun, made me chuckle. Quite a fun little moment this was for Otis. He's more of a comical individual. I don't get why he's the Money in the Bank briefcase holder. During the match, R-Truth runs through with his 24/7 title, being followed by Drew Gulak, Akira Tozawa, Lucha House Party, and whatnot. This causes a distraction, which allows El Gran Gordo, to pick up the victory, get the better hand, get the upper hand, splash on Miz and pins him for the win. Tucker and El Gran Gordo win the match. Good for you guys. We see them celebrating later with the New Day and Mandy Rose. Mandy Rose gives El Gran Gordo a ham. That's nice. So, Firefly Funhouse segment. It's a new show. He's unpacking. Bray Wyatt's unpacking. Finds out that Rambling Rabbit has a family and everything, and this is going to be a new start. I'm going to treat you better. The buzzard eats Rambling Rabbit, so okay. There's a knock on the door. Who is it? Alexa Bliss. He lets Alexa Bliss into the Firefly Funhouse. She's sporting some kind of Freddy Krueger-esque kind of outfit, which was quite nice. So yeah, Alexa Bliss is officially inside the Firefly Funhouse now. That's nice. She's inside the psyche of the Fiend and Bray Wyatt. She's involved, interacted in that world. That's nice to see. So yeah, we'll see what occurs, what goes on.
It appears nothing is playing at the moment.
I do appear to have set off my... you know what I mean. Seventh match of the night. Our final match of the night. The two giants. These two gargantuan individuals. Keith Lee against Braun Strowman. Poor match. This match should have been a belter. It should have been a belter. It could have been so good, and it wasn't. They ended up with a fudged finish. So, Braun Strowman kicks out of... he doesn't kick out, but he makes a jolted move, and he ends up catching Keith Lee with a low blow with his head. Oof, ouch, oof. I think it was accidental. I'm going to say it was accidental. It didn't look like it was on purpose. But Braun Strowman takes advantage of this and ends up beating Keith Lee. Keith Lee takes the fall. Keith Lee gets beaten here. Keith Lee's peeved off, as you would expect, and ends up low blowing Braun Strowman. So it looks like their feud hasn't ended. Let them have a match at Hell in a Cell and then end this. Let Keith Lee pick up the victory and let's end it. Braun Strowman here was an injured individual. He was still sporting the injury of it on his ribs from the match with Roman Reigns on SmackDown. So an injured Braun couldn't beat a fully healthy, fully fit Keith Lee. That actually does show holes in Keith Lee's ability within the ring, maybe. Kind of like makes him look poor. So that's unfortunate for Keith Lee. So yeah, I'd have them have a final match at Hell in a Cell. I'll let Keith Lee get the victory here. We then get the Viper's message from Hell to close the show. He locks himself in the cell, starts going on about the people he's beaten inside Hell in a Cell, Hall of Famers, legends, and whatnot. This brings out Drew McIntyre. Randy Orton starts goating Drew to get into the ring, but he can't because it's locked. Drew, some bolt cutters are retrieved by Drew from the ringside area, and he cuts the bolts and he gets into the cell. Randy Orton's in the ring with a chair ready for him. And that's it. That's how the show ends. The little message comes up in the bottom corner and the show ends there. No physicality. You don't see any interaction physically between these two individuals. Okay, yeah, that might tease and might get you ready for the interaction, the physical interaction that you'll see at Hell in a Cell. But for me, it just felt a bit odd. Drew's broken into hell, as they say, broken into the Hell in a Cell, and then does nothing, or we don't see anything that occurs. It just felt odd. Overall, my thoughts on the show: it was an okay show for a go-home show before a pay-per-view. It was poor. Show overall, you'd say it was just an okay show. Retribution, don't care about you anymore. You've lost in an official match early on in the night. Mustafa Ali's revealed to be the anonymous hacker from SmackDown. Don't really care about that anymore. Don't care about you. Your faction is nothing to me now. The Lana Oscar match, why put that match in there? Why have her win that Women's Battle Royal last week? Because you just buried her here and she got put through the table again. Poor Lana. The women's tag team match was quite entertaining, but Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax won, so you don't see any kind of challenges coming out of that going forward. Yeah, I'm struggling here, but guys, I'm struggling. This was the fun match between Miz and Morrison, Tucker, and El Gran Gordo. And like I said, my belt of the night, and it wasn't hard to have a belt of the night, Kofi Kingston against Sheamus. AJ Styles against Matt Riddle. It was poor that they let Matt Riddle take the clean loss there. Overall, this show was okay. Like I said, as a show without the build to a pay per view, it would have been an okay. But the fact that this is your go home show for Hell in a Cell, poor. Shame on you, WWE. Shame on you. So they're my thoughts on this show. My belt of the night was Sheamus against Kofi Kingston. Like I said, wasn't hard for them to be the belt of the night. Didn't have to really bring their A games. Because of what else was on the show, but hang on. Let me know what you thought your best match of the night was. Let me know in the comments. Like I said, yeah, those are my thoughts on the show. What are your thoughts on the show? Let me know in the comments. Like this video, share with friends, subscribe to my channel, and yeah, stay tuned for more content. Thanks for watching. Stay safe, stay classy.